and we'll start from here. So hey everybody, welcome. Week 7. Good to see you. Tony's taking the lead.
Deja vu. Just wanted to say thank you, one and all, for the wonderful work that you've done. As your instructors, we're very pleased and tickled with the learning that you're acquiring. Please keep doing what you're doing. Please don't hesitate to unmute as well during our conversation over the next few minutes. If you have questions or concerns, we'd love to get those addressed as a part of the conversation that we're having here today. It doesn't have to all come at the end. So your assignments or activities for week 7, please make sure you take a look at chapter 6, building your connected learning community. There will be a discussion post associated with that, and please post your discussion video reflection by Sunday, and then by Wednesday of next week, please respond to 2 of your peers. Those don't necessarily need to be video responses. You can go ahead and just respond to those by writing in the post. We are talking this week about gear number 6, personalized professional learning. You have lots of options to respond to that. I've been very impressed with the writing that those have contributed to. I love the specificity and the detail, whether it's in writing or whether it's with a video or a tutorial or however it is you get it to me. I'm really impressed with the depth and the questions that you're addressing and the answers that you're looking for from your own schools. It could be a 3 to 5 minute video, a 5 to 10 minute podcast, whatever you like. Hopefully these will be tools that you could use to share with peers in your own school as you get back into our academic year, this upcoming year. And please, if you would, make sure that you include 2 to 3 sources to support your learning and help you with that. And let's see. Then let's go to the next. Give me just a moment here to move this out of the way. The most valuable resource that all teachers have is each other. I believe that wholeheartedly about our teaching team and about our learning team. We're learning together. Hey, I'm learning right along with the rest of you, and I can't do it without you. Without that collaboration, our growth is limited by our own perspectives, and we've all seen that in our own lives as we look at any kind of learning that we're doing. Let's go see if I can click to the next. Give me just a second. Here we go. So hopefully you're working from the Connected Educator book and future reading or future. Let me just close this. Future Ready Framework Professional Learning is what we are working on this week. The little diagram here that I want to share with you in detail is really kind of how we look at each of us as networked teachers, educators. We have all kinds of tools, not just people, but tools to our access that we can learn from and engage from. All of these are wonderful tools, starting with colleagues, absolutely. Popular media is absolutely something that is valuable. It's important. As I work with my research students here at SUU, I say, don't make every quotation from the Reader's Digest, but one or two citations from Reader's Digest or Wikipedia is just fine. It gives you a chance to start, but you don't want everything coming from the popular media that may be out there. So looking to all of these are wonderful ways to be able to engage and become connected. We were just talking with Clint before we got started, a couple minutes before we got started, about our Rural School Conference. We have 500 participants that are registered and ready to go and ready to engage via conference with their peers, face-to-face here in Cedar. And that's a wonder, again, another tool to help build our professional learning network. It's not just simply your professional learning community there with your grade level or content area team at your school. That's great. When I was a principal down in Washington County, our teachers loved, Washington County would put on these fifth grade conferences. All the fifth grade teachers who wanted to or could would come to St. George, from Outline or from Enterprise to Hilldale, and talk about content and instruction at fifth grade. Our teachers loved that, to be able to address that. What are you doing at a specific grade level? But it's more than just in your own district. As you come to rural schools, as you come to other conferences, whether they're virtual or face-to-face conferences, you're going to meet associates at these conferences, and they're going to become a part of your professional learning network. You may think, what can I contribute? You can contribute a lot, and just your enthusiasm, your engagement are wonderful tools to be able to share. We're going to be talking today a little bit about social activities, Twitter and other activities to build our professional learning network. But all of these are great tools to be able to engage in and develop that professional learning community. I don't want to take time during our presentation today, but I have put links here to some what I think are good articles if you want to skim over or steal some ideas from in regards to posting to the discussion or to answering the perspective from the end of the week project that you'll be doing on section 6, PL professional learning benefits, tools and tactics. What is a PLN? Creating a community. You've got a community at your school that you've created so well. You use those same approaches, those same engaging, and be charismatic just as you are with your people in your building, with those across the world. I have to tell you, just a silly Tony story. We've been, it's taken about a decade, but I've worked to do some to develop some study abroad class over in Florence, Italy, and I've had a great time connecting. But as I started the program, I had it was kind of an ESL focus, and so we had I reached out. I found a little website called Via Lingua, which was a foreign language school there in Florence, and I didn't know anything more about them than what I saw on the internet. And so I reached out, I had a couple of email conversations back and forth, and we got a couple of students. Our initial approach was to get a couple of students interested in going. Well, it was $1,500 for the classes, and the students were happy with it. It included some housing. It was a great deal to spend a week in Florence. Well, it was really 6 weeks for them in Florence for this class. But I was a little nervous. Oh my gosh, am I going to steer them into scammers? Is there really going to be housing? is this a real thing? And so I finally had a conversation with Tom Shandorf, the managing director. I called him up and I said, I'm a little nervous. He just laughed at me. He said, Tony, you're rightfully so to be nervous, but we are not. Please send them. They'll have a great time. And I've made a wonderful friend. And through that, they had a great experience. You do have to be careful about things at a distance. You do have to do your homework, but by being a little bit risky and I didn't risk it, I didn't stick my neck out there too far, but by being just a little bit risky, it's engaged wonderful benefits with us. We had to slow down a little bit because of COVID. It's expanded now. We take students over. We try to take, we've taken students over a couple of years before COVID. We haven't the last couple of years because right now, this summer, more information you want, but this summer in Florence, the immunization rates for the young, for under 18 are very, very low. And they're afraid with the heat, et cetera, in the summer, COVID's going to explode again in Italy. And so as I visited with the local elementary and secondary and universities there in Florence, they said, we can't promise you if you send your kids over that there'll be spaces for them. Anyway, just one example of how your simple efforts can touch lives worldwide, and it's just it's a fun activity. So anyway, build your professional learning network. Reach out, be a little brave. Start with rural schools this summer, and go beyond wherever your heart takes you. Twitter. How's this going to be a benefit to educators? We hear a lot about Twitter. Hopefully, you have a Twitter account. And like it says here, the same can be said for just about any social media outfit, but it does provide just-in-time learning. My tweets, when I wake up in the morning, I've got 7 or 8 tweets just waiting on my front page to talk to me about all kinds of things, from Sid Dixon and the state superintendent to technology specialists and teachers across the world who like to share. So there is digital content, links, resources, articles, videos. It gets you a little bit out of isolation. You wake up every morning and somebody's tweeting you, and you've got some friends out there who are sharing with you, and you can share as well with others via Twitter. You can connect with experts, and those that think they're experts, that's totally fine. You just have to be careful about how you're connecting, and then absolutely, like it says here, collectively, we are a lot smarter than any one of us individually. And so I have linked a little, again, just another little topic here on how Twitter or my professional learning network saved my career. This is not Tony's article. This is another article, but reaching out through these social activities has helped me, like I shared with you before as well too. So let me go back.
Tony?
So yes, please. Thank you so much for speaking up.
I have a
Ask.
question. I don't know much about Twitter at all. And I was looking at the prompt for the discussion this week, and it says, after you've created your product, which I have no idea what a product is that something like a tweet in Twitter? I don't even know. And then it wants to know a publicly accessible link. I don't know how to do that either. Is there like a tutorial, or could you show us something? I'm like, maybe I'm the only one who doesn't know. I don't know.
No heartburn. Absolutely. I have, and I don't have my document camera here at home to show you on my phone. I'm
Hey, Tony,
thinking, yes,
I have
please, Matt, go right ahead.
I have my Twitter open right now. If you want me to present, I could show them how to grab your
Would you
public-facing
please?
portfolio. Yeah,
I
if
would
you want-
love that. Can you help me out here? That would be wonderful. Thank
Yeah,
you,
if you
Matt.
just want to stop presenting, I'll jump on real quick.
Let me stop sharing, and it's all yours, sir. Thank you so very much.
Tony, while he's transferring, I'm already on a Facebook network. Like, I use Facebook way more than Twitter. Can we use that, or do you want us on Twitter for this assignment?
Absolutely. You use
Okay.
what works for you. Okay.
All right, awesome.
Clint, are you guys nodding your heads too? Am I in the right? You use what tool
Pinterest
works for
Pinterest
you,
works.
okay?
Yep.
Yeah, because we have a huge Facebook network for the one of the subjects I teach that it's amazing. So I'd like to show that one.
I would love it. That's wonderful. Thank you for asking.
And so if you're going to go the Twitter route, folks, if you've never been on Twitter, this is your first time. We have a list in there of all the instructors' Twitter, so go ahead and follow them. If I see any of you pop up on my list this week, I will follow you back, but also, and in the future, but then also probably give you some recommendations as well. To get your profile to turn it in, you go on Twitter to profile down here, and then this is your public facing portfolio right there. So if you just grab this URL right here, it's twitter.com/ and then your Twitter handle, mine is Teacher Winners. Then you can turn that in. That'll get everyone to the same page, even if they're not logged into Twitter, because it's public facing. And so that'll make it really simple for us to look at it, for other people to follow you if they're logged in, that sort of thing. So that's the easiest way to get there. So hopefully that helps.
And Amy, if yours is Facebook, you upload your Facebook. Does that make sense?
And Amy, the only concern on that is if it's a closed group and we won't be able to get in and join, but we should be able to request that. But
At least
think
your
I'll-
instructor.
yeah, at
I'll
least
snap
like
a-
do a screencast or something.
Yeah, I'll do something like that to show some of the resources it
Yeah.
has, because it is a closed group. So
And Shanda, I think you started this conversation. Does that give you enough? Did I get the right person?
Yes, you did. That helped me get the link, but I'm still not sure about what are we talking about with a product. Like, I don't know what you're talking about there.
Well, that would be your
create-
either your
you
Twitter
create
account, your Facebook
product.
account, whatever, from my,
Okay, whichever one. So I did create one, but I'm like, okay, then I just connect with people.
start with your instructor and go from there. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. That we're looking for those single first steps. Okay, Shanda. to me, it's humorous, but we have some professional development courses down here that we've created for practicing principals. We've always wanted to get into the currently serving principals and provide some professional development support. And we've been sending out emails to principals, but we are really struggling. So some of or to get, really connect with principals. And so some of the teachers, like you said, Tony, don't send them emails. When we look for things out there on the internet for teaching, we look to Pinterest, we look to Teachers Pay Teachers. And so SUU is starting to look at, maybe we're going to start advertising through Teachers Pay Teachers and through Pinterest to get these. You find whatever way works, whatever way people will listen to you.
Shanda, the product that is referring to is click on the link next to that says the enhanced discussion post options. So whatever you do, most times it's been just like a Canvas recording or Flipgrid or something like that, but whatever way you enhance your initial discussion post, that's your product. So that's what goes in. That's what it's talking about there.
Clint, thanks so much for coming to my rescue. We appreciate it. Matt, are you agreeing, or did you have another comment?
I was just agreeing. That was all.
I love agreeing. That's great. I love agreeing. Okay, let me get back, please, to my sharing here. And thank you, Shanda, for being brave and speaking up. Okay. Let's see. Again, provided you some links to some Twitter sites. Like Matt said a moment ago, follow your instructor. If Matt's your instructor, if Tony's your instructor, follow. And our names are down here on the bottom. Our Twitter handles are down here on the bottom. Follow your instructor. But if you're looking for other educator networks, these are great networks for you to use and to follow as well. And then in regards to Chapter 6 and building your connected learning community, we've been talking about the importance of professional learning networks, how it helps you to grow and learn as an educator. It's not all in professional development credits. It's in learning and connecting with others. So as you read the chapter, some things I'd like you to think about are, what role can Twitter or Teachers Pay Teachers or Facebook or whatever tool it is that you do use, how's that going to help you in building your professional learning network with others? What are some topics you'd like to learn about with PLNs, and then sharing your experience in setting up Twitter, following people, those types of things. So refer to the information found in the chapter. Be sure to post your video by Sunday night or enhanced response by Sunday night. That's the product that like Clint shared very well. And then 2 responses by Sunday. And so the 4 components of our Future Ready framework, assignment number 7, that we're going to want you to talk about, whether it's in a paper or podcast or screencast, however you want to do it. The shared ownership and responsibility for professional growth. It's not just your principal's responsibility. It's not your district's responsibility. It really comes down to you and providing the information that you need to grow and develop, looking for that information that you need to grow and develop. Developing a 21st century skill set. Everything that we've talked about today, everything that we've talked about in class to this point is a lot different than it was even 5 or 10 or 15 years ago. What are we doing differently today than we have in the past? And then diverse opportunities for learning through technology. You can, again, do some self-study, some self-reflection, or work with a group like you're doing here through your discussion posting, connecting with others that have similar interests or perspectives. I think that's profound. And then element 4, broad-based participative evaluation aligned to vision for digital learning. It's getting late in the afternoon, friends. And so, how can you reflect on and make evaluation of yourself and of your team regarding the digital tools that you're learning? And you'll get that as you review the personalized professional learning section in the handbook. We talked just very briefly a few minutes ago about Rural School Conference. It is full. There's no more tickets available. You can get on a wait list still, hopefully, and here's a link to the wait list. But that week of July 7th at 4 p.m., I believe all of the cohort here will be together, and we'll be meeting in the education building, room 204. You do not have to be there physically face to face. We will stream that just like we're streaming, except it won't be from here out. It won't be from here. It will all be in the same room. It's in the Emma Eccles Jones Education Building. For those of you that come face to face, I'm going to have a free t-shirt, SU Education t-shirt for you. But I do need you to just give me a little bit of hint about sizes. And so I've got a link down here to link to t-shirt size. If you'll just follow that little form, ask your name, email, cell phone number, and what size. I promise not to share that information with anyone else. And if you're planning on coming, I'd just like to be prepared and have your t-shirt for you. Again, we'll be streaming, and that's only for the face-to-face participants. If you can't be to see her that day, I'm sorry, you won't get a t-shirt, but we're excited to have you down here, and we'd love to have you down here. You know your teachers, and you know who's been reviewing and scoring your work, giving you feedback. If you have questions, concerns, anything along the way, the Twitter handles are on the bottom of this as well. If you'd like to reach out and tweet your teacher, we'd love to reconnect with you back. Let me pause for a second and say, first of all, oh, yay, thank you so very much. Is it Jeremy?
Yeah, it is. Hey,
Wonderful.
Tony, I just pulled up that and it says you need permission. I'm not in the owner's organization.
That's rotten. Give me a second. I should have done better than that. You shouldn't have. There are 3 things you shouldn't have to see, Jeremy, or anyone else. You shouldn't have to see legislation made. You shouldn't have to see sausage made. I'm going to add cottage cheese. You don't want to see cottage cheese ever made. And you shouldn't have to watch your instructor update his Google Sites. But you know, Jeremy, since I've got you here, since we're not terribly over time, give me just a second. Let me fix that. And I've got some great specialists here who can help me. It's not sites, it's files. So give me just a second here to just come to Google and let me get that updated so that we can get that done right. The best laid plans, huh, Jeremy? But I'm glad that you're brave enough to speak up and say, hey, let me in, let me in.
Hey, it's all good. If that's the worst thing that happens to us today, we're doing good.
I love that attitude, Jeremy. You keep it up. And I think I have to go over here and let's see.
Tony, it's actually in your settings at the top bar above where it says.
Oh, there it is. Thank you so very much.
That's in your responses.
Yeah.
There it is. Thank you. And so.
Do not restrict. The one that's on, turn off.
Do
Yep.
not.
The one that's purple, turn it off, Tony.
There we go.
That's it. You're good.
Will you give it, Jeremy, will you do me a favor? Give it a try again, would you please?
I did it.
It did? All right.
Yeah, it's working now. Perfect. Plus I learned
know,
how to do that myself. So that was awesome.
There you, hey, look at what you're learning. Thank you. Amen. Jeremy, great question. Thanks for being brave. Other questions today I can help any of us can help you with.
So we can still register for this conference, right?
You can get on that wait list. Remember here, if you'll go to this wait list right here and you'll click on that wait list.
Okay, because I just tried conference and it actually is letting me purchase. Yeah, see, it's open.
Okay.
Oh, maybe we had some cancellations. I don't know.
All right. You
Okay.
snooze, you lose. You're not snoozing, you're not losing, you're winning. So make it happen, okay? And great questions. Others out there that anyone has any other questions?
And if somebody, since this is getting recorded, if they want to pay $500-700 for my ticket, I'll sell it to them for $5 or $7. But otherwise, I'm going.
And you forgot to tell them they get a free t-shirt if they'll come to their workshop that for Thursday afternoon at 4 o'clock. There you go. Welcome to the internet. Welcome to the internet.
Tony, I just want to add really quick.
Please.
Clinton and I went to Ed Camp Utah on last Saturday, and it was really cool to see. We had, I think, 4 or 5 people that are either in this class or have taken one of the 5,000 courses this year together at that session. It was just really cool. I had that weird moment of like, you look really familiar. Where have I met you? And they're like, I'm in your class. I went, oh, I'm an idiot. But it was so nice to see people and like get to, you know, see you face to face and that sort of thing and talk to you and interact. So I'm really excited personally for Ursa in a couple of weeks to see hopefully more of you there. And if not, hopefully we'll see you at USET next year as well.
You know, it is absolutely more information than you want